Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the Victoria's Secret podcast. I am Gerard.
I'm Justin.
And this is our holiday Christmas special coming at you.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Our holiday what special, Gerard?
Holiday Christmas special.
Christmas special, okay.
What kind of hat is that you're wearing, Justin?
I'm wearing a Santa hat, Gerard, just like your pine cone.
Just like my pine cone. That's filling in for my orange this week because my orange does not have a Santa hat. This pine cone does, though. So that's why he's here.
Yes.
And my little Santas on top of my head also have Christmas hats. And I'm also wearing my giant... I'm stuck. My giant G sweater. And that's not because I'm...
What is that?
That's not because I'm vain. That's from when I was in the 9th grade musical Seussical, and I was the Grinch. So this is my Grinch sweater. It just so happens to have the same letter as my first name.
Yeah, that's really awesome. You should get an M sewn onto the back.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
And then you could just turn it around. Some days you could feel like being MG instead of GM.
Yeah, if you feel like being an M instead of a G.
Yeah, so for you audio-only people, we super appreciate you being here, but you're really missing out today on the festive hats and other wearables that we have. So
we hope you hear the Christmas spirit in our voices.
Yes, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. And also, you know, we're not excluding our Jewish or, you know, whatever other listeners we may or may not have. Happy holidays to you too. I will say that as much as I hate doing the PC stuff sometimes, but we're going to keep talking about Christmas throughout the rest of this episode because it's what we celebrate. So
but
if you
we
have
still
problem
want
with
you
that,
to have a nice season.
Yes, we want you to enjoy whatever season it is for you. I'm just saying, don't tell us what to do. If you don't like Christmas or if Christmas offends you, stop listening right now. Okay, we got that. We got that out of the way. So, yeah. Gerard, you went to work today.
As did you.
Yes, I did. And you work at the movie theater.
I work at the local movie theater in our hometown.
Yes, I work at the Walmart, the local Walmart in our hometown. But let's talk about you first. How is that? How does the movie theater business start to get affected in terms of, like, you know, just foot traffic throughout the season? Does it get busier or less busy? About the same.
It sometimes gets a little busy because people or movie companies do tend to release kind of big movies when Christmas time rolls around.
Yes.
Christmas Day we're open for a little bit. You know, Christmas Eve we're open for a little bit. And some people's traditions are they go see a movie on Christmas. Yeah. So you know, we do get some people for those days.
Now, is it mostly like, do you guys play like classic Christmas movies and stuff like that during some day or some particular part of the...
We do usually do some special showings throughout the month. We usually do It's a Wonderful Life once every year. That's kind of like, for people listening, that's kind of like our theater's like movie mascot, I guess. I don't know, in a weird, some weird way. And then we also show other Christmas movies like, I don't know, Elf or whatever they decide to show people.
Elf. Yeah, I'm definitely not caught up on my Christmas movies, but
I haven't watched a lot either.
You might be. Do you have a favorite Christmas movie yourself?
It is definitely either Elf or probably one of the Home Alone movies. I do really like the Home Alone movies.
I've not seen Elf.
Really?
I've seen little bits and pieces of Elf playing in our dining hall at school, and I could not hear it, and I was not paying attention, and I just knew that it was on because I saw it on.
Yeah.
But and I cannot think of the guy's name right now.
Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. Yeah, I just know it's on because I see him in tights, and I know it's Elf.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I've never seen that. I believe I've seen. Wait, how many Home Alones are there?
More than two, but two. The first and second have Macaulay Culkin in it as
Right.
Kevin, the main character. Right. The others have different actors, and they're not as well known, but there are more than two, really.
Right. So there's kind of, in a way, there's like two real ones.
Yeah, and then the others are ways to try and make money.
Right. Right. It's like the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith.
Yes.
The deal where it was just like, I mean, like, it's the Karate Kid, but it's not the Karate Kid. You know what I mean? It's like, it's Home Alone, but it's not Home Alone.
Yeah,
but, okay,
exactly.
So, yeah, I got that. So I think I've seen one of them or both of the actual ones, as we're calling them, but it would have been so long ago, I don't really remember. I get the gist of how Home Alone works. The kid got left home alone, and there's the dudes that, I don't know, I guess they were trying to rob him.
Yeah, they're burglars.
Yeah, and he kept setting up like the little traps and stuff, but yeah, I haven't really. Oh, your face keeps popping up on my screen like multiple times.
Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't really seen that all the way through. I haven't really seen many movies or Christmas movies, as you probably know at this point. My computer's like starting to spaz out here. Ooh. But yeah. So what other ones are there? I'm trying to think of. There's A Christmas Story.
There's A Christmas Story. There's Christmas Vacation.
I have not seen that at all.
That one's pretty funny. I also like Christmas Vacation.
I've seen The Christmas Story. I think it's pretty dumb, honestly.
Funny enough, A Christmas Story is probably one of the only ones that I haven't actually like completely watched. Like I remember us watching it in like middle school for something.
Did we?
But we might have the class might have gotten through like half of it, or like the grade might have gotten through half of it, and then I don't know if the grade had to go do something else and we couldn't finish the movie or whatever. But we watched it in the auditorium.
I do not remember that.
I don't know, that'd 6th or 7th grade or something.
Kind of a weird movie to show to like middle schoolers.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't like it though.
I'm not big on it. Like it's alright.
Yeah, like I don't know. That's one that people like to reference. Oh, you'll shoot your eye out. I'm like, shut up.
Funny.
Like it's not. It's literally about this kid that was actually just a moron when you got down to it, and decided he was gonna start shooting BBs at a metal target, and everyone was like, "You'll shoot your eye out," and then he does.
His eye out.
Like, it's like you didn't need to make that a movie, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being very Scrooge-ish about the movie. But
how do you feel about A Christmas Carol? Now that you said Scrooge, like just the story in general. Do you like A Christmas Carol? Do you hate A Christmas Carol?
Probably one of the better ones.
I was gonna say, did you see like the one with Jim Carrey, like the animated one?
No, I don't think I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you know the story, but
I think I've really only seen like the Muppet one.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've even seen any of the actual ones. But
well, there are like 15 million spinoffs.
Right.
Or not spinoffs, like you know what I mean, like parodies.
Right. But no, I like that story a little bit better, at least. I mean, it just works better, and it's more enlightening, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a better story.
Yeah, Charles Dickens wasn't a dummy.
There's something a little bit better for some reason, because I was gonna say the other story that I at least can get behind with Christmas is probably The Grinch.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's just something about being like the movie structure of just like a sour, grumpy, miserable maggot that suddenly turns into a Christmas loving person by the end of the movie, that I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we like the transformation of character.
Never seen Die Hard.
I've also never seen Die Hard, so neither of us can.
I've started having fun with people though, because I will argue with them about whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas.
Oh, even
for like
even
5 or 10 minutes before telling them I haven't seen it. But I asked my dad that the other day. I was like, "So, do you think Die Hard's a Christmas movie?" Or we like talked about it a little bit. I was like, "I have literally no idea what the movie's about."
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know it's an action movie, but
yeah. But so I don't know. I don't know if it's a Christmas movie. The gist I get from when I talk to people about it is no, it's just a movie that happens.
An action movie that takes place during Christmas.
During Christmas time, yeah. So I'd say no. It's about like terrorism, I think. Isn't it? I don't even.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, let's stop talking about movies that we don't know anything about. What else is there? There is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, yes, there is.
And that is a hot topic now.
Not the store.
Whatever.
The normal sense of the word hot topic.
For whatever reason, Rudolph has come under fire. Have you been reading up on that at all?
I've been reading snippets here and there.
Do you know enough about why it's coming under fire, at least to...
I hear there are a few problems. I hear there are a few problems in the song that people have taken some heavy disagreement with.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just in the story ultimately, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
About Rudolph being bullied too much. His father is I don't know, patriarch or something.
Rudolph the Patriarchy coming to theaters. But yeah, I don't remember the whole 9 yards, but I can't make sense of how people. First of all, when did Rudolph come out? When did that movie is old.
The movie is incredibly old.
That movie is old AS. And,
yeah.
Let's look it up. But still, December 6th, 1964. That would make it 54 years old.
Wow.
This is a 54-year-old stop. What's that called? Stop animation.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was
stop motion.
Stop motion.
Like claymation.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if it was clay, but it would be a claymation. Stop motion film that's 54 years old, and now all of a sudden it's a controversial topic. And I don't get that.
People seem to be upset about that Rudolph gets, bullied so hard. But that's kind of like the point. Like the point is you're supposed to say, hey, these reindeer are being mean to Rudolph, and then Rudolph overcomes that in his struggle and becomes the savior of Christmas.
Yeah, like it's a good story. It's good. It's a good thing. It's not like
it teaches you to be strong.
Like I guess first of all, I don't know who these people are that are actually complaining about it, because that was something I was actually listening to the other day that kind of got me going with some of these controversial topics that we have nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you just see on Facebook that like people are outraged by Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. People are outraged by Baby It's Cold Outside. People are outraged by this. People are outraged by that. And if you take a minute and just think, who are these people? Who is actually outraged by any of this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you can't really find them in real life.
You can't.
So I think it's just either a couple of pretty clever dudes that aren't even offended by this, saying they're offended by this, so that
like spreading it.
Their idea becomes the next big thing, or there's just like the one or two bimbos just out there on the planet that are very vocal about how much they hate.
Yeah, it is possible.
Being alive. But Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is awesome, and it's very cool. His unique reindeer has a little red nose, and it makes him different. It makes him stand out.
Santa hats.
Oh yes. And but yeah, it's really, in case you were missing the point of Rudolph, your entire childhood, it's a reindeer that looks different because he has a red nose that lights up, and everybody's
Christmas ugly duckling.
Yeah, actually it is. But anybody that's not familiar with Rudolph is not familiar with the Ugly Duckling. But yeah, it is. So he's like weird and different, and all the kids are like, you're a loser. You can't play with us. And I don't really remember the deal with his parents. Honestly, they were saying that his father like abuses his mother or something.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
I don't remember a lot of
this. That's probably a bunch of bullshit anyway. But yeah, but it's really just about him overcoming all that and just going up to Dancer and Prancer and Comet and Cupid and Vixen and Blitzen and all the other reindeer and him being like, hey guys, F off. I'm the leader of the pack now. Yo, what if they made like an obscene Rudolph movie?
That'd be pretty cool. I feel like Ryan Reynolds would be the voice of that, probably.
That'd be really awesome. I could see that happening. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and being like, I run the show now, and just ultimately, sprouting up from the ground, overcame and adapted, and proved everybody else wrong, just like any wildly successful person has in the universe ever. So yeah. There's that. That's how Rudolph works. Reindeer made fun of, tells the rest of the reindeer, I don't care what you think of me, and becomes the leader of the pack and the 9th reindeer. That we remember about in the song. Actually, the whole song is about him. But I wonder how Rudolph actually originated. We could probably do a whole episode just on Rudolph.
Yeah, if we properly researched it and things like that.
That'd be cool. I wonder if it was taken after the Ugly Duckling, or if the Ugly Duckling was taken after Rudolph.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know which one's older. But yeah, cool. Was Rudolph a story before, like, the movie? Do you know?
Oh, no, I don't know. I'm not sure whether I'm not sure whether the song came first or the movie. I don't know.
First. Okay. Anyway, speaking of songs.
Yeah, we got another one,
and
I think
briefly mentioned.
We think you know which one is coming.
Oh yeah, we just talked about it. We're going to talk about Baby It's Cold Outside a little bit. First of all, we want your feedback on stuff like this, so I'm going to give you a question to actually answer their viewing audience. Leave a comment somewhere or email us or find some way to contact us. And let us know if you want to hear me and Gerard sing the Baby It's Cold Outside duet to each other. Because we'll do it.
We could.
We'll duet. But, no, that'd be very fun. But, okay, apparently Baby It's Cold Outside is about date rape. Thoughts?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's the end of this episode.
All right, bye, everyone.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I agree. But let's kind of pick it apart a little bit and talk about it more, because I do like talking about this. And let me find the lyrics somewhere, so that way when I'm trying to pick it apart, I can actually
we could analyze the lyrics.
Do so. I'm scared to Google this though.
Oh.
Have you ever seen that performance of Lady Gaga and what's his face?
Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah.
A different J name?
You know who I'm talking about. Gordon-Levitt. I know that much. But
yeah, the roles were reversed.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Okay, so basically what's happening in this song, which also, by the way, super old. I believe it came out in 1947.
Yeah, it was way older than I thought. Like I looked into it a little bit the other day, and it was way older than I thought.
I've read a couple articles on it and stuff, and again, just to reiterate this point too, I don't know who the people are that are actually offended by this. I've seen some people vocally on Twitter, on Facebook, etc., that are like the polar opposite opinion of me on everything else. Still just be like, are we arguing about Baby It's Cold Outside? Like, that's ridiculous. When we have literal rap albums, like, titled Date Rape right now, and we're talking about this song by Dean Martin in the 1940s.
Well, I have seen people share it, like, on Facebook or something, and give their opinions on it, like, the context changes they might argue that like the context changes over time, and in today's society it sounds a little creepy, and they don't like that.
Yeah, that's true, but get over it. But okay.
And you know what? You know what the kind of the issue is?
What is kind of the issue?
I feel like to a girl, it's creepy if it's an unattractive guy, but if it's an attractive guy, then they're okay with it. Like you know what I'm saying?
You've got a point there. You might bring us some heat by saying that, but you've got
no. But well, I don't mean to offend anybody, but
well, I know you don't mean
it's
to.
Definitely possible.
But yeah, I don't know. The only lyric I can really see people having a problem here is the "say what's in this drink" line. That's the only indication of date rape, if you ask me.
Yeah. That
they're drinking, but okay, so I really can't stay. I've got to go away. Blah blah blah. You know how the gist of the song. You know, this woman has to leave.
You're right. Yeah, when someone
like, don't and
yeah, when someone tells me like, oh, Gerard, it's about date rape, or I read, oh, Gerard, it's about date rape, that is the lyric that like immediately sticks out in my head.
Right.
So if they are referring to that lyric, I can agree with I can agree with them to a certain point.
Right.
But taking the majority of the song as a whole,
right.
I still have to disagree that it's more about, flirting and being, happy with each other. And
yeah. And again, it's even the "say what's in this drink" line. It's just, like, if you think that that's referring to any type of date rape or any type of bad, like, that's your own head is what's putting that there. Like, the way you it's your own fault if you interpret it that way.
Because well, that's the thing, because everyone interprets things differently.
Yeah, and if I just, but like, what's in this drink is a perfectly innocent question 99.9% of the time. You know what I mean?
You could be asking about the drink itself. What is in this drink?
Yeah, exactly.
Like if a Coke or I don't know.
Yeah, like if you gave me an Arnold Palmer and I didn't know what that was, and I was like, hey, what's in this drink? Yeah. You know, that's not me inferring that you're trying to rape me. That's just, oh gosh, it's absurd. So, and I'm sure this was perfectly fine. And then again, it was at the time that it came out, nobody had an issue with it, and et cetera, et cetera. But yes. So where do I want to go from there? I wish I knew how to break this spell. I ought to say no. At least I'm going to say that I tried. Okay, so this is another one. I read up an article on I forget where it was, but here, this was a very interesting viewpoint to take this from too. I read an article that was talking about basically the setting of the song. The song was written, I'm almost positive, in 1947, and it was in the 40s. Oh, 1944 it was written.
Wait, how old did you say Rudolph was?
Rudolph was 64, so this is 20 years older than...
Whoa, get out of here.
Yeah, so this song is 74 years old. And what the article I was reading said that at this point in time in the 40s, women had a curfew. Like, that was a cultural norm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
You couldn't be out of your house after a certain time, so on and so forth. And so this song is actually about challenging the social norms, if you want to say it's about any one particular thing and really get too into it. It's about a woman challenging the social norms and actually, giving herself a right to choose, basically.
Yeah, she's unsure whether she should or not.
Right, and if you pick apart the lyrics, you can find out that she wants to stay. She just doesn't.
Well, that's the way. Yeah, that's the way it sounds to me. Like, throughout the song, it sounds like, she kind of likes this guy from the way most people sing the song.
And just the fact that she's there in the first place, it's like, It's not like she just wound up at this dude's house and then all of a sudden had to leave. She was there for a reason, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But even that, I think, is digging too deep into it. But it's this line right here, where the female part is, "I ought to say no, 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 sir." And then the next line is, "At least I'm gonna say that I tried." So like, that's what we say when we don't actually want to do something, but we're like, "Nah, I tried." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she kind of just gives up on it herself, and then they just keep going.
Sitcoms.
And I don't know where this actually goes. I've never paid attention to the whole song, I guess. Could have been grand, but don't you see, there's bound to be talk tomorrow. Again, there's bound to be talk tomorrow because, you know, that'll be the gossip in the 40s is, oh man, you know, Sheila didn't come back last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they're getting it on.
Her friends will be like, getting their nails done or something and gossiping, you know?
Yeah, but yeah. What? Wait, since when is this a line? At least there will be plenty implied if you got pneumonia and died. I never knew that is a part of the song.
What? I do not know.
I don't even know what to make of that. There's bound to be talk tomorrow. Think of my lifelong sorrow. At least there will be plenty implied if you got pneumonia and died. Okay.
That's like 0 to 100. Wow.
Yeah, that is pretty 0 to 100. But yeah, so let's break this down. Social norms said, you don't stay here. And this woman was like, F you, social norms.
I kind of want to.
I want. And the dude was like, yeah, what the hell? You know, stay here. What are they going to do? Arrest you? So you could make an argument that this song is promoting women's rights.
Empowerment? Yeah, that's fine.
Empowerment, yeah. And, you know, assuming that it actually is cold as all hell, and that's such a stupid analogy. I shouldn't say that. Hell is not cold. Cold is all the polar opposite of hell. And, you know, he was actually helping her out here. You'd think that'd be a good thing, but God knows it wouldn't be. I don't know. Do you think there's just something about... Do you think they attack songs like this because of the fact that it's old, whoever wrote it is dead, so they can't really come out of the woodwork and defend themselves, and it's just kind of trying to rebirth some sort of heated debate that we don't even need?
That is possible.
I think that people do that.
There are people who really do like having debates and arguments for the sake of having debates and arguments.
Right. Bring stuff back from like the distant past. I mean, both of the examples we have are at least 50 years old.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny is a lot of this stuff, even like, you know, things that aren't Christmas songs, like things like say the Miss America pageant and things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of these things, you know, I feel like what happens is people who, you know, disagree with certain points of view, they're going about their daily life, and then when they stumble upon these things, like whether they hear about it on the news or they read about it, and they're like, I don't actually agree with that, or like they, you know, they right. somehow stumble upon to something they disagree with, and it kind of like I feel like it's overblown from there, whether that's them or whether that's multiple people kind of overblowing it. I think it just kind of spirals once someone vocally takes issue with something. And that's not saying that you shouldn't take issue with things that you find important. Just, I don't know, some things I think are unjustly attacked.
A big part of the problem to me is just this way that sometimes we just cling on to the past and we complain about the past, and I mean like the distant past in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating, if you ask me, because there are so many problems we've had that have gotten solved, and we're acting like they haven't been solved. And when I say we, I mean the lunatics that actually have problems with this kind of stuff.
People.
But like you know, just in politics in general today, there's the whole like everyone's a neo-Nazi, everyone's getting tattoos of swastikas on their arms, and you know, we're acting like the Holocaust is happening again. It's like the Holocaust was awful. I'm definitely not saying that that's not a true statement, but like it's over, and it's not happening right now.
It's nowhere near, you know, what that was.
Yeah, and frankly, the only thing that's gonna, well, not the only thing, but something that could really sprout an act like that coming back up is talking about it all the fucking time and giving it a lot of attention.
That's possible. Yeah, when we you know, you said something about you know, not dwelling in the past before. You're absolutely right. You know, we're not supposed to. We shouldn't dwell on the past like grudgingly. Right. You know, what the past is good for is it's looking at things that have happened in the past,
right, and
springboarding off of that. What was good here? What wasn't good here? Like looking at the Holocaust. That clearly was not good. Yeah. You look at that and you're like, okay, let's try not to replicate that ever again.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying too.
People don't even think that hard. They're just like, oh, you're a Nazi. You're a Nazi.
Yeah. That's what's frustrating me is like these things eventually do get resolved. Obviously, that doesn't make up for the lives lost, so on and so forth. But they're resolved. They're better, and people just take that for granted. They say, well, this happened. This means that we're terrible people, and so on and so forth. And like, it's like, oh, you're a white male, and your great grandfather was a slave owner. So
yeah, like I have no idea what my great grandfather did. Like, has that? Like, I'm sorry.
Responsibility.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, and history takes its course. Let's get back to Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
So how about those? Okay, I'm assuming you guys have decorated to whatever extent you do for Christmas by now.
Like have most of it is
up and that kind of thing.
Not all of it, but most of it.
We got our tree like 2 days ago, or 3 days ago. No, actually,
you guys get a real tree?
Yeah, we do. You get citrusy smelling ones to try and keep the cats off of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cats eat citrus? I didn't know that. I did not know.
It's just, they don't do citrus smells.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we do that. Do you have a real Christmas tree?
No.
Yeah.
We have a fake one. We always use a fake one. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I really like it. You don't have to go out and get a real one. You don't have to tend to the needles falling off nearly as much. You don't have to. Well, you guys gotta, you know, keep it in water and stuff, right?
I mean, not really. Not for the amount of time that we have it. But I don't know.
But like it's less maintenance, and you can still find some really nice looking ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be cool with an artificial tree. I always tell my parents I want to get one of these. There was actually a Christmas tree company on Shark Tank last year. I want to see if I can find that on the computer. But it's basically like it's not a tree like at all. It's clearly fake. It's definitely not a real tree. But it's just kind of like hanging circles, and like the top circle is narrower than, and they like come down, and like the circles get bigger. So it's like circular cone shaped, like cone with a circle base, and it's collapsible, and so on and so forth. So I want to see if I can find like a picture of one, but they're really cool, and I'd rather just get one of these because I don't know. I was trying to convince my parents to just not do a Christmas tree this year, but didn't quite work.
Just not do one?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't like the hassle. I don't like.
I mean, it is kind of a pain.
Traditions in general, as people start to learn if they haven't already.
Oh, see, that is one area we might be different on. Is I like a lot of traditions.
I don't like tradition. Okay, here's a decent picture of one. Let me zoom in a little bit here and then share my screen. I'd get one of these. Hang on. Right here.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
And it just hangs from the ceiling. And then when you're done with it, you just unhook it up here and it just goes, and it just collapses right down. There's another one. I think those look pretty cool, and I think they get the job done.
It is very decorative.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know why we do trees. I don't know where that tradition came from. I don't know where a lot of the traditions came from.
The trees are kind of pagan stuff. It's not really like...
Yeah, that's what I was hearing on that podcast I listened to the other day. Was our Christmas traditions are actually kind of just like a whole slew of...
There we go.
Different religions kind of all jumbled up into one. And Christmas holiday doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, not at this point. You're right. It's a lot of mashed up stuff together.
Like just like everything else, it has kind of become more about capitalism than it has anything else.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of dumb. I think it's. I mean, I really enjoy Christmas. It is my favorite holiday, but that doesn't just make me like so.
I think it's my favorite too, actually.
Stupid amounts of money
on Christmas
to buy gifts for people we don't like. I'm very.
Sometimes they don't like the gifts.
I was just gonna say
they say they like the gifts, and sometimes
spend our money on stuff on people we don't like. We spend our money for people we don't like to get presents they don't want, and it's like somewhere along this line we have to realize this just doesn't make sense at all. My war on Christmas, I'm gonna say, starts this year, and I'm going to slightly get less and less Christmassy every year. My war on Christmas starts this year. I've decided I'm not wrapping anything. Every present I give to someone this year is being given to them in the box that it arrived on my doorstep with. And they're going to use it. Because I don't want to buy wrapping paper, and I don't want to spend my time wrapping their presents. Because there's no real point in doing that. And,
gotcha.
I don't know. I don't like traditions or social norms, we'll call them. Just anything you're supposed to.
Some of them. Some of the silly ones.
Anything you're supposed to do just because you're supposed to do it. That's just the way it works. I'm like, shut the fuck up. That's not how I'm going to do it. Like, I'll do things the way I want to. Yeah. You looked like you were trying to pull something up on your screen there, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Anyway, but yeah, that's my war on Christmas. I'm all about the gift giving, but it's like
you think some of the
it goes too far. First of all,
yeah.
We
can cut out a couple of steps. You're saying.
Yeah, and we can draw lines somewhere. It's honestly ridiculous to me that I need to get gifts for like the families of everyone. Like, if I want to get a gift for you, I have to get a gift for your whole family, or else.
Yeah, sometimes you do have to make unwanted like gift buying connections.
Yeah.
Sometimes to people that you're not close with, but.
And back to where we started. You don't know what to get them, and then you're gonna get them something that they don't want, and then nobody wins in that situation. It's just like, first of all, you might as well just give them cash. Which cash is an awesome Christmas gift, if you ask me. If you guys want to start sending me cash, maybe we'll
I'll take it. Merry Christmas.
Maybe we'll open up the listener support here soon, but like a Patreon or something. But yeah, if you want to do that, I'll take cash. I always thought that was so dumb, and it was like, oh, what should I get this kid for Christmas this year? Get him a gift card to here. It's like, why don't I just give him the $25? It's like, no, you can't do that. I'm like,
yeah, you can, sure.
Yeah, I can. Watch me. here you go. Here's some cash.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Like,
Give it
whoa,
back?
cash!
Yeah, like,
He's not gonna give it back.
like,
Oh, I can't accept this.
I'd rather, you know, the $30 you spent on a hat that I don't want than the hat that I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's that. But
Yeah, you make a good point.
my Christmas gifts have been getting more practical as far as I can remember. So at least there's that. I do
Gifts
try
to other people, you mean?
both from other people and, well, from my parents mainly, from people that actually think like me, and also to other people. I try to stay as practical as possible and give people what they actually need and what will actually help them. And
I try to do that too. I really do try to.
Not what they're hyped up about for 2 days, and then it's like, what's this?
Yeah, I try to give it a pretty logical look before I get stuff for people.
Yeah, I just try to I approach it very with like an entrepreneurial mindset of like, what's an actual practical issue that people need solved, and how do I solve it? You know, I don't approach it like, oh, this kid I need to buy a present for plays Fortnite a lot. Let me give him a $40 Xbox card.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this same kid is in like 8th or 9th grade and starting to take advanced math courses. I'd rather buy him like a decent calculator or something. Something they're not going to get excited about, but they're going to use all the time. It'll actually like save their life.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, but
yeah.
That's my with Christmas. That's my point to be had.
I think I need to clock out in a minute or two.
Need to clock out.
Yeah, we're over 40. But
okay.
The number doesn't matter. I'm just saying I need to clock out in a minute or two.
Yeah, I should probably go to bed. I have work at 7 in the morning. But okay, let's wrap it up. I have a couple questions I wrote down for you that you didn't know about. If you were a Christmas character, which one would you be? Don't say the Grinch just because you're wearing the G shirt.
Christmas character?
Yes. Any Christmas character.
Ooh.
Any of them at all. Besides Kevin McAllister.
Oh geez. Okay, no, I don't know. Next question, I'll do it at the end, kind of like Jeff.
This one's a lot more just basic. Do you prefer white or green Christmas?
White.
White. I don't. I prefer green. I'm enjoying this year so far from what we've got, just because I hate the fucking snow.
Just for Christmas though. Just for Christmas. Period.
Yeah. I know. In a perfect world, it would just snow on Christmas and then melt the next day. But no, I like green Christmas. Everybody's been posting that same post they post every year where they're like, "Wow, I've never felt less Christmassy in my life." I'm like, shut up. But I say that a lot. But someone approached me in the line at Walmart yesterday, and they said, "I feel so not Christmassy." I was like, "Yeah, me too, but that's just because I don't want to." And they're like, "I think it's because of the weather. It's supposed to be like 60 degrees out tomorrow." I was like, "Well, you got a point, but don't complain about it when it's going to be 60 degrees. Ever. That's a good temperature for any time of the year. It's good. It's a good thing."
It is pretty nice.
I had to drive home in that freaking storm we had tonight.
Oh, did you? I don't know. Oh, yeah, right.
It was pouring. I don't know how I survived. I'm pretty surprised I lived to see episode 8 of this show. But those were my 2 questions for you. I could come up with more, but we both kind of need to clock out.
For funsies, my answer to the character one, I think that'd be kind of fun to be Krampus. You know what Krampus is?
I should. Isn't Krampus like the weird devil thing?
Yeah, the anti-Santa Claus.
Yeah. Right.
That'd be
That's kind of weird. Fun. Wait, what is the anti-Santa Claus though? What does he like do? It's the anti-Santa Claus, basically just the Grinch.
Yeah,
Santa gives you Christmas and the Grinch
Krampus is a tradition in, I think, probably like middle Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like the incentive. He's one incentive for kids to be good kids, Because if you're not good, then Krampus
It's more of like a scare tactic
what he
for
does
them
to
than
you.
a reward system. It's more of a punishment system.
Yeah.
You know, it's more like you don't want to get punished as opposed to you do want to get rewarded.
Yeah.
Which I'm all about that. I'd rather have kids that are scared of a bad thing than that are just, you know, incentivized for the good thing. Because I think that's a lot more effective. But that's for another time. This was episode 8, right, of the TVS podcast, or the Victoria's Secret podcast. My name's Justin.
I am Gerard. This was our Christmas special.
This was our Christmas special. We are going to outro with some Christmas music pretty soon. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow, download, review, whatever you can do on whatever platform you're watching us on, guys. That is the end of this episode. Peace.